All right, now we're jumping into part 4 of the Grand Canyon total series here. This is called Sophia and the Parasitic Fungus. But before we jump into this, I need to jump backwards real quick. For those of you who don't know what the Nos Confunden map is, that's the map that has Earth in the center and has all these land masses around it, right? This is the Terra Vista map, right? So this is kind of mapped up like the different constellations, right? These are the local tree stumps. Nos Confunden are the local tree stumps. Okay? Terra Vista are the forest. It tells that the constellations tell us where the forests are. And the Terra Vista map, though, is off because I looked at the star charts, so I had to use 3 other star charts and then blend those to try to get the most accurate information. But now we're going to jump back into it. I just wanted to make that quick revelation so you could see that Nos Confunden map are local stumps. Terra Vista, I think is what it's called. Or no, I think I'm saying that incorrect maybe. Anyways, you know which one I'm talking about. But anyways, this is the constellations of the layout of the cosmic forest. Cosmic forest would be all made of, at one time, had all trees, just like ours, that were all 175,000 miles high, and our firmament is 84 miles. So, go figure. All right, here we go. Here's where the myth and geology meet. Sophia, an eon is a world planetary size tree. That's called an eon. Overflowed. Her emanation took form as the tree of this realm. The Titan trees on Earth were sprouts on her body. So what we call world trees were sprouts on the actual planetary tree body. You understand what I'm saying? But something malformed rose within the lattice, like fungus in living heartwood. That parasite was called Yaldabaoth. Sophia acted without her balancing counterpart, the Logos. Without that balance, the lattice was vulnerable. Without that balance, the lattice was vulnerable. The parasite fed on the structure. And then came the cuts, the great severing of the trees. After the cut, the scar crystallized into the Great Dome. The galactic plane, the Great Dome. Edge of the torus, the edge of the torus. And the engineered honeycomb firmament was phased inside to control perception and harvest lower chakra energy. Babel belongs here too. The desperate attempt to rebuild vertical coupling after the trees were gone. It failed because unity was scrambled. That's when the invasion piece came into focus. It was literally like Cortez meeting the natives. Humanity wasn't prepared. We were turned to the vertical, living in the 5th dimension, aligned to the upward spiral, and then the overlay was dropped. That overlay hijacked our perception into lower chakras. They didn't exist before. Fear, lust, survival, they existed, but there wasn't a force that was pressing down on us to siphon energy. They hijacked our perception through the lower chakras, fear, lust, survival. That's why when people die, they describe beauty. Because the overlay finally drops and they glimpse the real world that's already here. So when people pass away from these biotech suits, or these biotech suits quit working, what you're actually seeing when you leave the body and you think you're in the heavenly realm is the actual realm that is here right now. You just can't see it because of the projected overlay. And there's 2 projections. There's the one coming from the black sun that is the natural reality. And then the second overlay is on the inside, the 84 mile up fake sky dome, octagonal shape. That's the other overlay. That projects an octagonal reality as you walk through it. That's all in the book, though, so we ain't talking anymore about that stuff. So, anyways, that overlay hijacked our perception in the lower chakras. The overlay isn't just perception, it's an energetic harvest, a siphoning of our downward spiral. And it only worked because the trees, the vertical conduits, were cut. When you look at these images, what they reveal is the hidden memory of our cosmos. I want to pause here for a second because everything is feeding it. So it's natural for us to grow upward. And we are compressed into this downward spiral everywhere. And we eat it everywhere, all the time, with our media that we intake, with the food that we eat, with the way that we behave, with the way that we treat others. Accepting all the things that or letting things pass that shouldn't be okay. There's so many things that, think about all the awesome healthy food that we get to eat in the United States, or the great water, or the clean air. There's all kinds of things, and we could keep going and going and going, and I kind of do in the book a little bit. But anyways, let's move on to the next part. And it looks like I did get it correct, but you can see here, this was the one where I was trying to show you where Nos Confunden is our local stumps. And then the Terra Vista map would be the cosmic forest map. First, Sophia, the cosmic tree, she was not just a symbol, but the living eon whose body extended into worlds. Her emanation grew as the world tree, the central conduit of vertical alignment, rooting realms together in harmony. But Sophia acted without her balancing counterpart, the Logos. In that imbalance, a malformed spark crystallized inside her. We know that as Yaldabaoth. See the fungus on the stump? Yaldabaoth didn't descend from above. He grew like a rot from within the lattice. Just as a fungus overtakes a living trunk, this parasite fed on Sophia's structure. And when it grew, it warped the energy shells around her. The true scar currents of the tree became hijacked into fungal shells, feeding the growth of the parasite itself. That's why people feed the parasite. Every thought, every fear vibration, every indulgence into the lower chakras flows upward as energy currents. Not to nourish the tree, but to nourish the overlay fungus that sits on the scar. Humanity became the food. Now look at the scar rings on the stump. The tree rings are memory. They aren't just wood patterns. They are harmonic shells. When the tree was severed, those shells didn't vanish. They hardened into grooves. And those grooves became the orbit tracks of the wandering stars. That's why the planets follow the perfect harmonic paths. The music of the spheres is literally the stump's growth rings tuned into orbital grooves. The grooves of memory, right? The grooves of memory. No, I have no idea what Murin is. I'm just using the damn picture. There's always one error on every ChatGPT picture. But, following the growth rings. Oh, look, we got some orbital patterns here. What do you know? What do you know? Look, we got little things around. What do you know? Oh my gosh, orbital patterns. Because the tree stumps are the frickin' solar systems cut off. What could be big enough to cut a tree that creates a solar system? I had to stop here because I have a lot more to go here. I probably have 5, 6 more parts. I don't know. Maybe, let's just say 2 more parts. Let's not get carried away. But anyways, I'll do a little bit more. The music of the spheres is literally the stump's growth rings turned into orbital grooves, orbital patterns. Planets are not stones drifting in infinite vacuum. They are resonance nodes, playing the stump like a record. We'll move on to part 5 coming soon. Hope you have a great day. Namaste.